Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon and Flat Earth Homeland and stand-in erstwhile stand-up comedian, sit-down comedian for Jersey's Woman of the Woods. R. Okay, I'm just going to leave this screenshot up here for a few minutes because it'll probably pick it up as a thumbnail. I'm on my tablet and I haven't figured out if I can do thumbnails or not and blah, blah, blah. So, all right, let's see if, okay, I got to remember how to, should have played with it first. Okay, what I want to do is several things. One is to show the continental United States, which you see here. This is a future map of the United States. I'm going to show a few of them. There's bunches of them. I'm just going to do a select few. I want to show that the OzArk Plateau is centrally located to the OzArk, to the continental United States, within the continental United States. Okay? And by that I mean centrally located. So I'm not going to show it in this map. I'm going to move on here. I'm going to come back to this one later. A little bit different version of it. Okay. The other thing I want to deal with is, come on, there we go. Okay, here's a Google Earth shot, and this isn't the whole continental United States, but here's what I want to get into, and that is from the Rockies here. And I should have had a map up of the Craton, but look up Craton, Laurentian Craton, North American Craton, whatever you want to call it. The edges of it are the Rockies and the Appalachians. Okay, they actually have found a fault line, and I'm pretty darn sure it's right smack dab on that ridge there. I don't. Last I tried to find, they haven't even named it yet. Hadn't even come up with a name for it. I couldn't find a name for it. Okay, so I can't tell you. It's called the blah 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 fault line. Now, from this point, we'll go into better shots of this probably, but from this point, yeah, here you like my pointer. There, that's better, isn't it? It's a steak knife. Okay. From that corner there's the OzArk Plateau, that diamond-shaped green island of survival. From that corner to the Rockies is 500 miles. Okay, from this corner to Mexico is 500 miles. In other words, from the border of the United States, the southern border, which used to mean something, was 500 miles. Okay. When you hear things without borders, like Doctors Without Borders, they're selling you something. Those Doctors Without Borders are not a bunch of good people. From this corner, the northern corner, to Canada is 500 miles. And from this corner to the Appalachians is 500 miles. Now I've done that on my big computer with everything working, and I could do the distance and peg it out, and I've got that on my big computer. That is all privy to only that computer, unfortunately. I'd like to get the thing up and running someday and get it online and be able to do a lot of this, because I have got 100 lines and circles and squares and pyramids and things drawn around the OzArk Plateau. So that's one of those things that would be nice to see happen. All right, now, is it an accident or a coincidence that you have this gigantic green, lush, watered thing right here smack in the middle of the Craton? Now, we're not talking from the east to the west coast. We are talking from border to border, but from the east coast to the west coast, not quite. Not in the middle, obviously. But from that corner to the Appalachians and that corner to the Rockies and from that corner to Mexico and that corner to Canada, it is right at 500 miles in every direction. Okay? Capiche? Do we understand that? It is my contention that it is not an accident, not a coincidence, that this gigantic preserve, this gigantic, what you would call a fortress, what I would call a fortress, is right in the middle, and we're going to go into that. And I'll get better pictures here to look at some of the features more close up there. Now, the other thing I want to point out is that west of the Rocky Mountains, west of the Continental Divide, is unsafe. It is shallow, very shallow crust. And the same thing holds east of the Appalachians, but predominantly, even more so west of the Rockies, west of the Continental Divide, it is thin, mushy. It is shot through with volcanoes, supposedly dormant. Ha ha ha. There's not a single dormant volcano that I would call dormant because of the fact that they're waking up, and there's earthquakes happening on almost all of them. Dutch Sense has pointed that out repeatedly. There's an earthquake here. Oh, it's a volcano. There's an earthquake here. Oh, gosh, it's an ancient volcano in Idaho, in Colorado, in New Mexico. There's bunches of them in New Mexico, of course. So, and California, a lot of them. So, hundreds, maybe 1,000 or better volcanoes on the continental United States and in continental Canada. Same thing applies to Canada. Everything I'm saying about America applies to Canada. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of volcanoes. In one province alone, I said, do you realize there's more than 40 volcanoes in your province? And he goes, yep, I do. So, if you draw a line, I'm just going to point this out again. If you draw a line from this corner through this corner like an arrow, we should be able to find Turtle Mountain, and I don't really see it. Of course, this is a really scaled back map. Okay, moving right along. Sorry about that one. Just a little point of curiosity. Sorry. Water to drink, yeah. No, not much. All right. Here's a closer map with the state lines in there. So I'm going to go into this, so don't get your undies in the bundle. How about saying, oh, come on. I'm going to talk about the counties. This is one of the reasons I'm doing this, is because I've had people write in one of the comments or email, a woman wrote, people are going to be coming on foot and you need to get that map out there. So I'm going to try to reconstruct. I've got a friend going to print off the county maps of each state, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and reconstruct not only a map for the circular region, but also for the actual physical outline of the plateau over those counties, because I never have done that. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I can tell you this, that there's about 40 counties in Missouri which comprise the quote-unquote OzArk Plateau, the safe region, but that's more of the circular area. Now, we can see what the circular area is, and this is providential, because from the first time we moved to Kansas and started hearing about so-and-so moved here, and so-and-so moved here, and so-and-so moved here, and so-and-so moved here. How that happened, I don't know, but we knew a lot of people from Denver, and I started hearing that they moved here and there and other places, okay? So I put dots on a map, and at one point I said to myself, that's a circle. And I drew a circle around those dots. Now that spoke volumes to me that all those people I heard of were good people, believers, people that wanted to be free, and they had moved within a circular region. Now here's Kansas City, St. Louis. Down here, this white blob down here is Tulsa. Okay, so those cities kind of designate three of the corners to some degree. And then down here in Arkansas, where you have the Mississippi River coming up and the Arkansas River coming over, somewhere down there is the other corner, right about there. Okay, those are the corners of the circular region. And you can kind of see that. You can see how this kind of swoops around here, and then it comes around here. Pull it up on your own map on your own computer and follow along. You'll have a lot better definition, but you can see it continuing around here. So that much of that, 3/4 of it, defines an almost perfect circular, and then it kind of straightens out here where the Arkansas River comes across. All right, right through there. But basically, it's a fairly circular region, and in a downturn situation, in a medieval situation, those rivers are going to be borders. And we're going to get to that, so I don't want to say too much right now. Okay, here's another shot, closer up again. And you can see of the actual outline of the plateau, there's a lot of it in Missouri. And by the circular method, the map that I had made, and I found it, it's faded, it's moisture bled out,